So you're thinking about trying Zepbound or a GLP-1 like Ozempic, and maybe you haven't started yet, or you're about to talk to your doctor. Maybe you're just a little concerned about what that means. Maybe someone's told you it's cheating. It's not. I'll have another video for that, so keep an eye out. But this is an important decision. If you haven't talked to your doctor, definitely talk to your doctor first. That's the first step. And what you'll want to talk to your doctor about is kind of like a health diet consultation that they have to do. One, they're going to make sure that your BMI is above a certain level. It's not the most accurate check, but it's a pretty consistent check for them to get approval through insurance. They'll often want to test if you have any other comorbidities or any other diagnoses. For me, I got a sleep study and I had severe sleep apnea, so those two things together triggered an acceptance from my insurance for Zepbound, which is prescribed to treat sleep apnea. You may have other options depending on your insurance or your other conditions. I've known people that have had elevated heart rates, which is a problem. So basically, go talk to your doctor, get all of your blood work done, tell them that you're thinking of these GLP-1 medications. You've heard good things, especially if you've failed other diets in the past. That is a big thing. It's not just you, it is a compounding problem. I had the same issue. I tried different diets. I also have another video coming out to explain that whole journey, but it basically ruins your mentality. It's really hard to get started every single time you fail. So talk to your doctor, especially as you're getting older. Get your blood work done. If you're a male, get your testosterone checked. It's not just an aging thing. If you're overweight, your testosterone dips, and it can dip quite significantly, and it's also a big part of being able to lose the weight as well. So talk to your doctor, consult with them first, get all your work done, get all your numbers in. At least you'll know your starting point. You get insurance approval. So say you're about to start that, then what happens next? So that's what this video is going to be about. What to expect when you've started your GLP-1 journey. And I'll tell you the first thing. For me, it's Zepbound. You get a box like this. This is a month's supply. You open up the box here. This is refrigerated. You keep this in your refrigerator once you get the box, the supply. Inside, there's some instructions for use. It has 4 vials in it. There's also some instructions up here. I have a video on this. I'll link it about what it felt. I actually videoed myself taking my very first shot. It's literally my first shot. I had never seen anyone take it. I was very curious. That's what got me started vlogging to begin with. What are these like? You take one of these vials out. There's a little plunger here. The needle's on this side. You click this. Based on the instructions, you find a spot to put it. Doesn't have to be on your belly. I did it on my belly. And there's 4 of these. Again, keep these. You go 1 per week on the same day of the week. It doesn't matter what time of the day. If you want to try it in the afternoon because you're afraid to take it to work and you're not sure how you'll do, then do it in the afternoon on a Wednesday. And then every Wednesday you do it. You can do it whenever, since it's kind of drawn out through the week. It doesn't matter the exact time of the day, but it does matter. You want to do it the same day of the week so that you're not overloading or spreading too thin. This, as you might have seen, is 12.5. That is my current dose now, but I've been on this for 11 months. Your very first dose will actually be 2.5. That's not a maintenance dose. That is the test dose. You'll do that for a month. So you take the shot. You really are just checking to make sure you don't have any allergic reactions, any major side effects. 2.5 is a really low dose. You probably will barely notice the effect of it at that point. It should calm the food noises, maybe help you feel satiated a little bit longer. I know for me, I was just really gung-ho about getting started on a new plan and really hopeful about this drug effect. So what I suggest you do, and your doctor may suggest you do, is very closely track your diet at that point. As soon as you get started, maybe even a few days before, track your diet on something like, I use Lose It. There's plenty of apps out there to just track. What you want to be able to see is not just your calories. You want to be able to see your macro breakdowns. You want to know your protein. You hopefully can see your fiber. You may have to pay extra for, depending on what you're using, to see your fiber. Fat and carbs, really not that interested in unless that's something that really motivates you. One of the reasons you want to know is just for data points. You want to know, one, it helped me look back and say, wow, my fiber intake's really low, even though I got my calories down to 1,800. I was trying to keep my protein up over 100 grams a day. So those macros really help you make sure you're picking the right foods. But you'll have some time to iterate on that. It's not immediately important on the 2.5. So you'll do 2.5 for a month. You check in with your doctor, make sure you're feeling okay. Then you're going to go up to the 5 milligrams. And the 5 milligrams is a maintenance dose. So you'll take the 5 milligrams again on the same day of the week. You get the same exact box. It looks just like this. Every single box, every single dosage. The vials are pretty much all the same size. I think just the amount inside is a little bit different. You take them the same exact way. But you should start to notice at the 5 milligrams, your hunger signals go way down. You should feel really full for quite some time, and the food noises should all but disappear. And my journey at this point was I checked in with my doctor every month, and 5 milligrams was working great, I believe, for 2 months, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't working well. I was starting to snack, I was starting to scrounge through my closet and look things up. I wasn't really losing much weight at that point, so that's kind of the 2 signals I worked with my doctor on. I don't know if every doctor is the same, but how am I feeling, how my food noise is doing, and then what does the weight progress look like. The other thing I would suggest is weight really only measures mass, and for those of us who start out fairly overweight, your mass is going to go down just because the caloric deficit goes down. But if you're recompositioning quite a bit, maybe you're moving some into muscle, maybe you're getting more active at the same time, the mass doesn't tell the whole story. So I would suggest, since this box is a month, every time you open a new box, take a body picture. Have someone take it for you, take it in a mirror, shirt off as best you can, try to get the same lighting, the same angles. Again, another data point. So you have your scale. If you measure, I weigh every day just because I like to know. I'm curious. If sometimes I know on my previous diets, if I didn't see that number go down, I got really frustrated and I would just be very unmotivated to eat well. Zepbound kind of sets your ceiling. You're not going to eat too much anyway. But if you find that that's a motivating factor to either do it every day or not do it every day, it's not going to change. The scale is going to change not linearly. It's going to change monthly. So maybe measure when you take the shot, so you'll get the scale once a week, and then when you start the box, which is monthly, take the photo, and then you'll have this track record of what your weight looked like every week, what your body looked like every month, and you're going to look like. Remember, this is not a daily diet. This is not a weekly diet. This is not even a monthly progress. This is going to take probably a year, longer than a year, or a lifetime change, hopefully. And I have some numbers so you can know what to expect once you get started. And the way I like to look at this is not just pounds on the scale. That's what the scale gives you is pounds. But I go back through, I track my progress, and really take a look at percentages. Because it really matters how heavy you are. How much weight you have to lose is going to dictate how much you lose. Even if you're on a really deep caloric deficit, your body's not just going to shed it all immediately. So what it looks like for me, and I've done some numbers from other people, the first 1 to 3 months, because I was so overweight, I started at 305 pounds. My goal weight's 225, and even that is a little heavier than I was when I was in prime shape. I'm probably supposed to be right around 200, 195. I'm never going to get down to that. I don't want to. I want to be a little bit bigger. I lost 4 to 6% of my total body weight the first 3 months. So my first month was 18 pounds, my second month was 12 pounds, and my third month was around 8 or 9 pounds. And that started to tail off a little bit. Part of it is also fluctuations. Like I said, I talked to my doctor, so I went from 2.5 to 5. Then I sat at 5 for a little bit, then you go to 7.5, and then you go to 10, and now I'm on 12.5. So some of it's fluctuations in how well I was able to comply with my diet, and some of it also Zepbound, GLP-1s, they have an actual metabolic impact on your body. It has a lot of great benefits. It's anti-inflammatory besides just decreasing your hunger. It changes, I believe, how you metabolize glucose. So it's actually helping you lose weight in addition to helping you keep the calories down. So there's plenty of benefit. Don't get discouraged if you don't see the scale or if you start to get hungry more. You're really working into what is going to be your long-term dose. 12.5 seems to be working great for me. It's been 6 months of 12.5 for me now. So again, the first 1 to 3 months, I saw 4 to 6%. It tailed off a little. I, again, did not change my activity. I wasn't out running every day. I didn't go to the gym 5 days a week. I just was eating less. And then the months 4 to 6, I saw it dip a little bit. I also had a vacation in the summer. Winter started to set in. So between 2 and 3% of my body weight, which was about 8 pounds a month instead of the original around 15 pounds a month. So again, you'll see that number go down a little bit, but check the percentage, because every time you lose significant amounts of weight, like I went from 305 down to 270, which is pretty significant. And that's when I started to see the 8 pounds come off instead of the 15. So seeing 15 pounds a month would have been awesome. I would have gotten there faster, but I don't know if that's even possible unless I was being really super aggressive, which I was not. I was just feeling great to be eating like normal and not having this food noise and diet problem. And then month 6 plus, I see around 1 to 3%. Again, I haven't been really religious with tracking my calories. I'm going to start changing my meals a little bit because I want to cut down a little bit more for the summer, and I'm almost there. So I'm getting back to more of my scheduled meals. I've kind of gotten off track. I've been eating out a little bit more. I've been ordering out a little bit more. The great thing about Zepbound is it lets me sustain this diet even through like dips of motivation where, I feel like having a sweet treat or a snack, or I'll go out for ice cream because ice cream places are open. I'm only going to eat a very little bit. I used to eat a huge sundae, huge dinner, cheesesteaks. Flyers are in the postseason. I normally order like wings and go crazy with fries. Not doing that. I'm still just eating normal portions, treating myself a little here and there, but my calories are not going that high. So I definitely could do a little bit better. But the great thing about Zepbound, like I said, it kind of sets that ceiling that you're not really going to break unless you're really adamant about eating as much as you can. So I'm seeing about 1 to 3%. I've also started lifting 3 days a week, so I'm hoping some of it's just moving fat into muscle, again, recompositioning. One of the things I'd like to do is get a DEXA scan and see what my body fat percentage is, because that will be a big deal. Again, weight is just the mass, the scale, it's everything. It's muscles, it's fat, it's water you're retaining. So the weight kind of fluctuates just based on what your body is doing. Your body is great at finding equilibrium. It sees the weight come down, it sees the calories come down, your activity kind of neutralizes, and it's trying to just stay. Your body just wants to stay at the weight it is. It doesn't want to gain a lot of weight, it doesn't want to lose a lot of weight. So you got to keep working it, keep telling it, hey, come on, we're still going. I'm caloric deficit now. I'm walking a little bit more now. I'm just trying to get those numbers closer to the 3 to 4%. But I would suggest you do the same. Track your weight. Don't just measure the raw numbers, because as you go down in weight, you're probably going to be losing a little bit less total weight, but you're going to be losing similar 3 to 4%, maybe 5% initially, up to 6%, depending on where you're starting, of your body weight. So take your shot every day, at the same day per week. Pay attention to your symptoms. Don't get panicked. If you're starting to feel more hungry near the end, talk to your doctor. The next time you have a sync up, tell them how you're feeling. You'll look at the weight. If the weight's going down significantly, fine, or gradually, everyone's happy with the weight. The food noises are fine. You don't have any side effects. You'll probably stay at that. If you're not too happy with the results, maybe you can bump it up. Definitely don't have side effects. And the only real side effects I had were some gastrointestinal issues, mainly around, there's some burping for sure, some additional gas response, and then sometimes just keeping the rest of you regular, which I mentioned before, is fiber. Just get your fiber up, eat fiber. I use Royo bagels. I'll put a link in the description to Royo bagels. They're 33 grams of fiber. They taste good with breakfast. You can add some supplements. Gummies are only I believe 5 grams, so you're going to have to eat a number of those, or maybe add psyllium husk to something else if you have those. I tried that. It was really hard for me to figure out what to put psyllium husk in, so I just ended up, that's what I buy the Royo for. It's got psyllium husk in the bread and the bagels. So keep your fiber up, keep your protein up. There was an old diet called the protein sparing modified fast. For fasting, you want to make sure you're not just losing muscle along with fat. So protein sparing means you eat pretty high protein and not a lot of anything else, and you can keep the muscle. I don't believe I'm getting into the skinny fat category, and now I'm trying to lift to bulk up a bit more. So keep your protein up. Hydrate for sure. One of the things that's helped me, I've linked these before, the Weiler lights. I have a sweet tooth. I've always had one. People that I've talked to that are also on GLP-1s have mentioned that their sweet tooth has gone up. So if that's an issue for you, these types of diet drinks, I don't like diet drinks in general. You could just switch to diet soda if you want to stick with those. I don't like, the only diet I like is lemonade, because lemonade cuts that aftertaste that I hate about I can tell if you give me something with artificial sweetener, I would know it immediately. Lemonade, the lemon, the citric acid cuts that down, so it's a good blend for me to get something sweet without adding a lot of calories. Really low calorie desserts are good too. I have little fudge pops. I link those. So just track your diet. Get a good meal plan early on. Know what you're doing. Track your macros. Work with your doctor. There's nothing scary about these. I'll link. If you didn't watch it yet, watch the video of me taking my very first one. It's very easy. It's painless. They're all the same. And you're going to do this. It's really life-changing. So if you haven't started it yet, or you're just considering it, definitely talk to your doctor. Don't be scared. If you've been failing diets in the past, this is something that should really help you not just reach your goal weight, but be able to change your lifestyle and sustain it. So please like and subscribe. That will help me a lot. I'm a small new channel, so just liking is great. If you want to subscribe, I have planned series of videos coming out, not only about what to expect, different hacks I've figured out along the way, but also just things in general. I'm going to be 50 this year. I'm going to try to get back on the volleyball court after about 15 years of being out of shape and not active enough. So that's a journey you can follow me on. I also have failed plenty of diets in the past, so I'm going to be giving you my tips and tricks about why this one worked and the other ones didn't. So please subscribe, please like the video, and keep an eye out for more to come.